Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is the final episode of the first season of Cheboygan Masked Singer. It might actually be the only season of Cheboygan Masked Singer, but it is definitely the ending of the first season of Cheboygan Masked Singer. We are so excited to have the championship announced tonight and our last two reveals between those two troopers that have made it all the way to the top of this elite pyramid, Rudolph and the Star.
O holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till he appeared and the soul felt its worth. The thrill of hope, a weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angel voices. O night divine, O night when Christ.
But do you know about the most famous reindeer of all and who is behind that costume? Rudolph.
Okay, first of all, I know for a fact who this is. I'm 100% sure. But again, you have to follow my logic on this one. All right? This person that I know is Rudolph doesn't play any reindeer games. This person takes charge. This person has a lot of spunk and spirit. And that's just like the epitome of Rudolph right there, spunk and spirit.
Yeah, I can think of a number of teachers that I know that would fit that description. So I'm looking forward to see where you go.
But do you know how many of those teachers have 7 letters in their name like Rudolph?
I do not.
Bonnet. And I think that Mrs. Bonnet is trying to play the role of Rudolph by being her spunky, spirited self. So I'm going to go with Mrs. Bonnet as Rudolph. I'm 100% right.
I think that actually could be completely a slam dunk. I could absolutely see Mrs. Bonnet playing Rudolph. And yeah, that attitude that we've seen in Rudolph, some of the clues that I just saw about Rudolph, yeah, I could see it all adding up. It makes sense.
She loves to have fun, so it makes sense. It makes sense.
All right, let's go with it. Mrs. Bonnet, I'm going to agree with you on that.
My guess for Rudolph is Mrs. Giles.
I think Rudolph is the great Mrs. Lake.
I think Rudolph is Mrs. Burr.
I think Rudolph is Miss Giles.
I think Rudolph is the amazing Mrs. Lake.
My name's Tate, and I think Rudolph is Mrs. Giles.
I think that Rudolph is Mrs. Lake.
Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, Rudolph, with your nose so bright, won't you guide my sleigh tonight? Then all the reindeer loved him. They even shouted out with glee, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, you'll go down in history. you'll go down in history.
Mr. Hall, we have gotten to that shining ball of gas in the sky.
Yes.
And has done really a terrific job in this competition. Very consistent, yet very varied with the music that has been done by that particular character. So who in the staff do you think would be able to go from Sweet Caroline,
Bum, bum, bum.
yeah, Sweet Caroline to bum, 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 to Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire, the Christmas song?
You know, when I did STEAM that one year, I remember telling the kids that when you look up at the sky and you see a star, that star is already burned out, that it takes that light that long to get to us. And that star is already burned out. But this star is still shining bright, because I've been pretty impressed with this star. And
I believe this star is just at the beginning of their fame.
I think this star will probably retire and go off and just have a recording contract somewhere.
You know, I think there's the talent there.
We are a big hit in Sweden, so I know they're always looking for new talent there. So here's what I'm thinking. I don't know if you follow my logic, but you should on this one. I'm thinking this is an elementary teacher, because elementary teachers do the bump, bump, bump with Sweet Caroline. They get all into it, right?
Do they really? Okay.
Yes. You probably didn't know that, but it's true.
It's been a few years since I've taught with a lot of the, elementary teachers. So yeah.
Yes, it's part of our daily routine. The bump, bump, bump parts, just part of our daily routine. And this teacher is musical.
Okay.
And yes, this teacher, it has been in band, and so music is in this person's background.
Uh-huh.
I am 152% confident I would risk getting coal in my stocking for this guest right here.
Wow.
Yes, I am confident that the star is no other than Mrs. Chase.
Mrs. Chase, I like it because we do know that she is musical. And a lot of people might not realize this, but interesting fact about Mrs. Chase. Mrs. Chase was actually Mrs. Wells's, the giraffe herself.
Yeah.
She was actually Mrs. Wells's band director.
See, there's a connection.
In Cheboygan High School.
There's a connection. So that's congrats.
Yeah, I believe it was her senior year. I think it was her junior and senior year, actually, a couple of years. Yeah. So I could definitely see Miss Chase. Now, I'm going to have to say I was leaning in a different direction, but I was also thinking of the band connection. I was thinking of Mr. Dunham. Okay. And I think Mr. Dunham could very possibly be the star. But I like your guess also, because that would be just like Mrs. Chase to like sing down in that lower voice, kind of,
Yeah. And
3:30 in the morning, not a soul in sight. City's looking like a ghost town on a moonlit summer night. Raindrops on the windshield, there's a storm moving in. He's headed back from somewhere that he never should have been. And the thunder rolls. Yep, it was me, everybody. Had a great time. Thanks. On the first day of Christmas, my students gave to me a star shining very brightly.
On the second day of Christmas, my students sent to me two-headed dragon,
and a star shining very brightly. On the third day of Christmas, my students sent to me two-headed dragon, and a star shining very brightly.
On the fourth day of Christmas, my students sent to me four snow angels,
two-headed dragon,
and a star shining very brightly.
On the fifth day of Christmas, my students sent to me 5 cats in hats,
four snow angels,
two-headed dragon, and a star shining very brightly.
On the sixth day of Christmas, my students sent to me 6 Rudolphs glowing,
5 cats in hats,
four snow angels,
two-headed dragon, and a star shining very brightly.
On the 7th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 7 penguins waddling,
6 Rudolphs glowing, 5 cats in hats,
4 snow angels, 3 soldier rats,
And a star shining very brightly. On the 8th day of Christmas, my students sent to me 8 eagles soaring,
7 penguins waddling,
6 Rudolphs glowing, 5 cats in hats,
4 snow angels, 3 soldier rats,
2-headed dragon,
and a star shining very brightly.
On the 9th day of Christmas, my students sent to me 9 owls hooting,
8 eagles soaring,
7 penguins waddling,
6 Rudolphs glowing,
5 cats in hats,
4 snow angels, 3 soldier rats,
2-headed dragon, and a star shining very brightly.
On the 10th day of Christmas, my students sent to me 10 hammies hamming,
9 owls hooting,
8 eagles soaring,
7 penguins waddling,
6 Rudolphs glowing,
5 cats in hats,
4 snow angels, 3 soldier rats,
2-headed dragon, and a star shining very brightly.
On the 11th day of Christmas, my students sent to me 11 stitches stomping,
10 hammies hamming,
9 owls hooting,
8 eagles soaring,
7 penguins waddling,
6 Rudolphs glowing,
5 cats in hats,
4 snow angels, 3 soldier rats,
2-headed dragon, and a star shining very brightly. On the 12th day of Christmas, my students sent to me 12 Stoopies rapping,
11 stitches stomping,
10 hammies hamming,
9 owls hooting,
8 eagles soaring,
7 penguins waddling,
6 Rudolphs glowing,
5 cats in hats,
4 snow angels, 3 soldier rats,
2-headed dragon, and a star shining very brightly.
What are y'all still doing here? The show's over. Go home.